welcome you for the session, but allow me to call the House to order by a word of prayer. And let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and called assemblies for the welfare, society, and the just government of the people, we beseech you, behold with your abundant favor, as your servant, whom you have given, please to call to the performance of important tasks in this country. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and the welfare of the county and those whose interests you are committed to our charge. Amen. Thank you, members. Our Deputy Governor, our CECs, members of the public, waheshimiwa, and members of the fourth estate. Let me take this opportunity to invite you to this session. And I know before we go very far, we will start by a bit of introduction. And as we introduce, I think we'll start by our members of Secretariat of the Assembly. So we know them. Fred, can start the introduction of members, Secretariat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. My name is Oduol. I'm part of the Secretariat of the Special Committee. Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Dr. Che, part of the Secretariat of the Special Committee. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. I'm Frederick Nadwa, part of the Secretariat. Thank you.
Radio Bill, Senator Thomas.
Good morning, members. Real Ken and Sir.
Good morning, members. My name is Eric Ogela, the County Assembly Clerk. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. I'll see. County Secretary somewhere. Please can you take us through your team?
Through the Chair and honorable members and my colleagues, good morning. My name is Joseph Oduol, County Secretary. We have come with a number of officers from the executive. I will give them a chance to introduce themselves.
Good morning. My name is Richard Owade. I'm the Chief Attorney.
Good morning. My name is Benedict Moro, CEC Finance and Economic.
Good morning. My name is Akuda Chanda, CC and Governance Administration and ICT. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Joseph Omori Onyango, Chief Officer, Governance Administration and ICT. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jacob Linga. I'm Chief Officer, Finance and Economic.
Good morning. Dr. Edgar Oduol, CCM in charge of education, affairs, and social services.
Good morning. My name is Martin Akwata, Director of Supply Chain Management.
Good morning. My name is Jan Tapan, Director of Public Participation and Civic Education.
Good morning. I'm Damian Agoyo Molo, Administrative Officer in the Office of the Deputy Governor.
Are you done?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think those are the members we have in the House. Thank you.
you, Chair, committee members, members of the Fourth Estates, the public, good morning. Good morning once again. My name is William Oduol, the Deputy Governor for Siaya County, and I'm accompanied by my legal team, so I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves.
Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Paul Yamondi. I am an advocate for the Deputy Governor.
Good morning, Chair and the member of the committee. My name is Patrick Baraza. I'm part of the legal team for the Deputy Governor.
Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Oduol. I'm a councillor that is the Deputy Governor.
Thank you, DG. We now proceed to the members of the Assembly, and we'll start from our far right, Mr. Apodo.
Good morning, everyone. I'm John Apodo, member of the Assembly, in the ward.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Freddy Komoro, that is Kenya Ward, and I'm a member of the committee. Thank you.
I'm Paul Andrew Mwende, a member of this committee, but I represent Sikombe Ward.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Elizabeth, member of the County Assembly representing Sakwa, and also a member of this committee.
My name is Cynthia Kinyango, a member of the committee, representing the interest of women in the Assembly.
Good morning, members and Chair. Working for North Kenya Ward. My name is Rollins Dala, member of this ad hoc committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Shane Barakasef, representing the interests of the people of East Game and a member of this committee. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Michael Omondi is my name. I represent the people of South Rioma and a member of this committee. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Justus Butabuya, member of County Assembly, Siaya, representing the interest of West Rioma, member of this committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lily Sachias, a member of the Assembly. I represent South Sakwa. I'm a member of this committee.
Chair, with your permission, good morning. My name is Anyango Silas Nadingu, representing the interest of the people of Central Game and a member of the ad hoc committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Athene Julio Telu, nominated MCA, member of this committee.
Good morning. My name is Dorothy Awinoinga. I represent the youth in the County Assembly of Siaya and the Vice Chair of this committee.
And I'm Francis Otiato, member of this Assembly, representing Limbo East and the Chair of the committee. Thank you very much. Again, we have, sorry, is your mic working?
Morning. My name is Freddy Kodiamo, nominated in Siaya County.
Freddy Kodiamo down there. Thank you, Fred. I want us to feel free when we are here. We want to have a very jovial discussion at the end of the day. I know all of us knows why we are here, and Bwana DG, karibu sana. I hope you got our invitation to appear. You got our letter. Thank you. And at that juncture, we will request that you take an oath. Then we proceed to the next stage.
Perhaps there is an issue which I would very much appreciate your direction on.
Yes.
Before the DG takes the vote. Okay. And the issue arises from the letter that you referred to in the conclusion of the statement. The DG did receive the letter on the 30th of last month.
Yes.
The letter was a letter from the clerk of the assembly, and it included a bare motion. By bare motion, I mean it was a motion with nothing in support of the motion. The DG wrote back immediately thereafter on the 31st to the clerk of the assembly, pointing out on a chair to the clerk of the assembly that he had received a letter, he had received a motion, and the motion was not supported by any evidence. Very promptly on the 2nd of this month, the clerk of the assembly wrote back to the DG, and he then, in his letter, enclosed what he purported to be statements in support of those, or in support of the motion. Chair, the statements were not signed. And being a public officer of some standing, I'm sure the chair appreciates that the property value of an unsigned statement is not very much. The DG then wrote back on the 5th of this month and pointed out to the clerk of the assembly that the statements he had received were unsigned. Promptly again on the 5th of this month, the clerk of the assembly wrote back to the DG and now gave him signed statements. And other than the signed statements, he gave him a voluminous bundle of evidence. This is some of it, and it is photocopied 2 sides. Chairman, what am I saying? The 5th was yesterday. The documents or the evidence in respect of which the DG is going to respond were only furnished to him late in the afternoon yesterday. The Constitution of the Republic of Kenya gives the Deputy Governor, or guarantees the Deputy Governor a right to a fair trial. And one of the components of a fair trial on the chairman is the opportunity to prepare your case. The standing orders of this assembly capture the fact that the Deputy Governor, in the circumstances in which he finds himself, is entitled to ample notice to prepare himself. And I believe that is to be found in Standing Order 64, which entitles the Deputy Governor to at least 3 days notice of the document. The motion was served, or the bare motion was served on him on the 30th of this month, but he is not responding to the motion, he is responding to the evidence, and that was only given to him yesterday afternoon. So, Mr. Chairman, because of the gravity of the matter, and because of the importance of the proceedings, both to this assembly and to the subject of this impeachment motion, the Deputy Governor, it is my request that this committee then, or this assembly, then grants the Deputy Governor the time he is entitled, both under the Constitution and under the standing orders of this committee. Or the Deputy Governor then is constrained in that he is unable to take the stand to respond to evidence that he only received yesterday. So the time guaranteed by the Constitution and the standing orders of this committee has not been ordered to him, and it is that time that we see.
Okay, Council, thank you. The first we wanted DG to take an report. So far, whatever you have said, you are speaking on behalf of the DG who has not taken an report. How I wish that he takes an report and then formally we start these matters and assume that whatever you're telling us, you are telling us under the oath of the DG. Then now we raise these matters, we proceed from there. Then I'll give a direction.
Perhaps it will make it easier for me to understand and for me to explain to the DG if you are able to explain the purpose and the significance of it.
Now, when you are testifying before us in this assembly, you must take an oath and tell us that whatever you're going to tell us is the truth. And you know, anything you tell us after the oath, if it is lies, you are culpable. Culpable if you tell us any lies. Therefore, before we take anything you're telling us, we are serious. You must take an oath. Then we proceed. That is fast. Because other than that, after the oath, we still have a lot of things. I know there are a lot of things before we now even go to the substantive issue.
I am going to be very
Did you?
I, CPA Dr. William Oduol, do swear that the information and evidence that I shall present before this special committee in respect to the matter before committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Didi. But DG, we did write, can you take us through the letter? Yeah, we invited the DG, so we just want to go through the letter, simply put it that I hope the DG will receive the one letter and you make some responses to us.
Yes.
Where's the response for the DG? So I just wanted to verify the file that you sent to us. That is what you provided. Clerk, you can take us through the letter invited the DG.
Thank you, Chair. This was the letter written from the office of the clerk. The letter is dated 29th May 2023, addressed to the Deputy Governor.
on the subject of removal from the office of the Deputy Governor William Oduol by impeachment. The letter goes, reference is made to the above subject matter. Article 181 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and Section 33 of the County Government Act 2012. On Thursday, 29th May 2023, during a special sitting, the County Assembly of Siaya adopted a motion sponsored by Honorable Gordon Onyango Onguru, MCA East Assembly Ward, seeking to remove you from office by way of impeachment as the Deputy Governor, County Government of Siaya. The motion was in line with Article 181(1) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, read together with Section 33(1) and 9A of the County Government Act 2012, which provides, and I quote, Article 181, Sub-Article 1, a county governor may be removed from the office of, on any of the following grounds. 1, gross violation of this Constitution or any other law. 2, where there are serious reasons for believing that the county governor has committed a crime under national or international law. 3, abuse of office or gross misconduct. Or 4, physical or mental incapacity to perform the functions of the office of the county governor. Section 33, subsection 1 of the County Government Act 2012, which states as follows: a member of the County Assembly may, by notice to the Speaker, supported by at least a third of all members, move a motion for the removal of the governor under Article 181 of the Constitution. Section 33, subsection 9A of the County Government Act 2012 provides as follows: subsection 1 to 9 shall, with necessary modifications, apply to the removal from office of the Deputy Governor. In line with the provisions of Standing Order 71, read together with Standing Order 72 of the County Assembly of Siaya Standing Orders, the County Assembly appointed a special committee comprising of a third of its members to investigate into the allegations made in the motion and report its finding to the County Assembly within 10 days. Taking cognizance of Article 50, Sub-Article 2B of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the special committee writes to draw your attention to the motion adopted by the House seeking to remove you from office by way of impeachment as the Deputy Governor, County Government of Siaya. Further, guided by Standing Order 71(8) and 72, the special committee invites you to its meeting slated for Tuesday, 6 June 2023 at the County Assembly Chambers at 9 a.m., during which the committee shall accord you an opportunity to be heard on the allegations raised in the motion and a chance to cross-examine the following witnesses who shall be invited to give submissions on the allegations raised in the motion. The witnesses are Mr. Joseph Obutu, County Secretary, Mr. Benedict Omolo, CC Member Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Edgar Otumba, CC Member for Education, Youth Affairs and Gender, Mr. Agunda Ochanda, CC Member for Governance and Administration, Mr. Joseph Omondi, Chief Officer Governance and Administration, Mr. Jack Odinga, the Acting Chief Officer Finance and Economic Planning, Mr. Martin Okwata, Director for Supply Chain Management, Mr. Damiano Somolo, Administration Officer, Mr. Jared Abayo, Director Public Participation, and Mr. Austin Ogola, Social Welfare Officer. In line with Article 196 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, please note that the County Assembly has placed an advertisement in the Nation newspaper to appear on Tuesday, 30th May 2023, inviting comments, information, and memoranda on your removal from the office. The advertisement further invites you and members of the public to attend the meeting scheduled on Tuesday, 6 June 2023 at 9 a.m. at the County Assembly chambers. You are at liberty to request the County Assembly to furnish you with any relevant information or documents that you may require to prepare your presentation on this matter. Further note that you are at liberty to appear before the special committee with your legal representation. You may submit to the committee any written submissions comments, or information on this matter by Monday, 5th June 2023 at 9 a.m. through the office of the County Assembly Clerk. Enclosed, please find a certified copy of the motion respecting grounds and particulars upon which the motion was made, signed by the acting County Assembly Clerk.
DG, we did appreciate that we received a document from your end, a written submission, and I just wanted you to maybe confirm to us whether what we have is the actual document that was presented. Sergeant? I know there is a photocopy of the original one is there.
Perhaps maybe on behalf of the DG.
Yes.
What is presented in this folder is perhaps one of the responses that the DG has made. But conspicuously absent on a chair from this folder, and perhaps maybe it would be a convenient place to start, is the DG's letter to the clerk of this assembly dated the 31st of May this year.
Okay. Now, will you then like to present us with either something or any other document that you want to have? Do you have any other further documents that you want to present to us, which is not there?
I think perhaps, Chair, the conversation about the presentation of documents is a little premature. And it is premature because of the reason I made the presentation earlier. In my presentation, I was careful to detail both correspondence received by the Deputy Governor from the clerk wishes to respond to those documents. The Deputy Governor, as I was at pains to point out in my initial submission, is entitled to a reasonable amount of time to respond.
We are going to make a ruling to that. Let's finish up with this issue of the documents. So the documents came yesterday. The document that was presented, we got them yesterday. So I'm just, before we proceed, I just want to confirm that what we have as of now is the documents that maybe if you when we proceeding, will you want to produce an additional document?
Chairman, I think it is important to accurately record the Deputy Governor's positions. Isn't it? The Deputy Governor has written 2 or 3 letters to the clerk of this assembly.
Okay, so let's have for the records that the file that we have given you is part of the document that we presented, and you take note of what you claim or you are saying is not included. So what is not included in that file?
What is not included in this file
is
the 2 letters that I have referred to. The first letter dated the 31st of May.
Okay.
The response to that letter by the clerk.
Okay.
The Deputy Governor's letter dated the 5th of June.
Okay.
And most importantly, the clerk's response to that letter dated the 5th of June, which is also dated the 5th of June.
We are noted. But the rest, the other thing is all right? Other than those two letters?
In respect of the response,
yes,
I don't think the word all right can be used, because the Deputy Governor is making a very important point here. There is evidence that he has been given, that he has not been given an opportunity to respond. So his response cannot be complete without the response to that evidence.
But for what we have as at now, is that what was presented?
In respect of?
Up to now, what we have as at now.
The letters are not here.
You? The book clerk, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. In response, Honorable Chair, to the statement in the letter I have just read, dated 29th May 2023, which, for the benefit of the committee and members present, I might just read the statement. That's a paragraph that asked, that informed the DG that you are at liberty to request the County Assembly to furnish you with any relevant information or documents that you may require to prepare your presentation on this matter. Then, Honorable Chair, in response to that, on 31st May 2023, the Deputy Governor ably requested and correctly requested for the additional information or documents that he requires. And this is the letter that he wrote, dated 31st May, on the subject of removal from the office of the Deputy Governor, William Oduol, by impeachment. And it states, reference is made to the above matter. I am in receipt of your letter dated 29th May 2023. I note that the County Assembly intends to call the following persons as witnesses during the hearing scheduled for 6th June 2023 before the special committee. Mr. Joseph Ogutu, the County Secretary. Mr. Benedict Omolo, the CC Member Finance and Economic Planning. Dr. Edgar Otumba, CC Member Education, Youth Affairs and Gender. Mr. Agunda Ochanda, CC Member for Governance and Administration. Mr. Joseph Omondi, Chief Officer, Governance and Administration. We have Mr. Jack Odinga, Acting Chief Officer, Finance and Economic Planning. Mr. Martin Okwata, Director for Supply Chain Management. Mr. Damian Somolo, the Administration Officer. Mr. Jared Abayo, Director of Public Participation. And Mr. Austin Owola, Social Welfare Officer. I further note that I will be given an opportunity to cross-examine the said witnesses. However, I have not been furnished and or supplied with any witness statements and or documents the said witness will rely on during the hearing. In the light of the foregoing, and in order that I am accorded a fair hearing before the special committee, kindly but urgently furnish me with the written statements of all the witnesses. The Assembly intends to call and the documentation and or evidence the witnesses will rely on during the hearing to enable me adequately prepare for the cross-examination of the same witnesses. Yours faithfully, CPA, Dr. William Oduol. So that was the response to the information given on the letter dated 29. Then, the Assembly responded. I'm just locating the response. I'm just locating the response for the chair. where so we're just locating the response because the response to that letter where the DG requested the witness statement, and of course in response to the letter dated 29th May 2023.
So clerk, the document that was the statement with witnesses. So you forwarded the statement?
Yes.
So when was that? Okay, we want just to confirm whether the statement asked for was issued.
But maybe, Chairman, other than the clerk reading the correspondence, the very important correspondence from his telephone, maybe he should make copies available so that you, Bwana Chair, and the other members of the committee are able to appreciate the correspondence. Because now that the matter is before the committee,
yes,
that correspondence is really for the committee to consider. It is not anything the clerk can keep on his phone and read to the committee.
Well, clerk, we need those statements plus the correspondence given out to the members. Clerk, we need how many minutes to get that? Yeah, I think let's, clerk, can I give you 2 minutes to run for those documents? We really need to proceed. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So sorry for the short delay. On the letter dated 31st May, this was the response from the Assembly. It's addressed to the CPA William Oduol on reference of removal from the office of the Deputy Governor William Oduol by impeachment. Reference is made to your letter dated 31st May 2023, reference given CGS/ODG/CA/1/Volume 1/30 on the matter of request for witness statements as per the stated letter. Please find attached the following statements received from the underlisted officers as they relate to their submissions to the Assembly Committee on General Oversight during investigations on allegations raised by the Deputy Governor. 1. Statement from the County Secretary. 2. Statement from CCM Finance and Economic Planning. 3. Statement from CCM Education, Youth Affairs and Gender. 4. Statement from Acting Chief Officer Finance. 5. Statement from Chief Officer Governance and Administration. And 6. Statement of the Director Supply Chain Management. Kindly note that the following officers did not submit any statement to the County Assembly Committee related to the subject matter. 1. CCM Governance and Administration. 2. Administrative Officer Mr. Damianus Omolo. 3. Director of Public Participation Mr. Jared Abai. And 4. Social Welfare Officer Mr. Agustin Ogola. Please do not hesitate to ask for any clarifications in relation to your request. Signed by the Acting County Assembly Clerk. Then, Honorable Chair, on
Yes. Did you receive that?
The letter was received. The letter was responded.
Statements?
The statements are received. Chair, I would want you to note at this juncture that the statements that are attached to that response dated the 2nd of June are unsigned, and perhaps Bona Clark can confirm that, because those statements are referred to and are annexed to that letter.
Okay, let's proceed.
Thank you, Chair. On 5th June 2023, the DG wrote to the Assembly on the same subject of removal from the office of the Deputy Governor, William Oduol by impeachment. Reference is made to the above matter and your letter dated 2nd June 2023. I acknowledge receipt of statements from 6 officers. I, however, note the following in respect of the said statements. The said statements are unsigned by respective officers. B. The statements make reference to various documentary evidence which have not been furnished and or supplied to me. You have also acknowledged in your letter, and rightly so, that the said statements relate to and were made in respect to the motion that was before the Committee on General Oversight in response to the complaints raised by myself on corruption and mismanagement in the county executive. The Committee on General Oversight considered my submissions and the said statements and rendered a determination on in a report made in the month of May 2023 that is signed by CPA William Oduol. Honorable Chair, there was a response to that letter. And if you allow, I may. This was the response dated the same day that the letter was received, that is 5th June 2023, on the same subject. And I read the statement or the content. Reference is made to your letter dated 5th June 2023. Reference is given on the matter of request for additional documents related to the information submitted by various county executive officers. Kindly note that the statements originally sent to you were soft copies which bore no signatures. We have now attached
signed copies containing the same information, same for signatures. We have also appended attachments to the statements as per request, by your request, and as indexed here under. 1. Signed submissions by the County Secretary and related attachments dated 8 May 2023. 2. Signed submissions by the Chief Officer Governance and Administration dated 9 May 2023 and related attachments. Signed submissions by CCM Education dated 9 May and attachments. Signed submissions by Director Supply Chain Management and attachments. Signed submissions by Chief Officer Finance and related attachments. And finally, signed submission by CCM Finance and Economic Plan. Kindly be informed that the motion being processed now is an impeachment motion, quite different from the motion originally requesting you and other county executive officers to submit to the Committee of General Oversight evidence on allegations raised by yourself aforetime, which motion was already dispensed with. However, we note that some of the issues on the impeachment motion correspond to those in the motion already dispensed with. Also note that the documents currently under the possession of the Assembly and those that we have given to you are not statements, but evidence attributed to statements made by yourself and to those whom you mentioned in your implicative allegations, signed by the Acting County Assembly. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Waziri, DG, legal team. I now want to give a direction on this, that we have noted the concerns, and as a committee, we are going to sit on your arguments. We have taken a note of the issue of the periods and the timing and 3 days and so on, but I know our standing order is very clear about some of these issues, and the standing order is clear on the impeachment process. It gives you about 10 days to execute the impeachment. Our standing order gives you a period of 7 days to write to get back the information. So if technically you have 10 days and 7 days is for information collection, today is is actually the 8th day. Yesterday was the 7th day. Today is the 8th day. Tomorrow is the 9th day that we need to do a report. And then on Friday is the 10th day that we must, on Thursday, that we must dispense with this. So whatever we are dealing with is time-bound, and we are going to make a ruling on it in the due course of the day, looking into the other very many issues that you have raised, especially on the preliminaries. As we proceed, we will go and make a determination that we pronounce ourselves to it. By that, therefore, I hope you're comfortable with that.
If you will grant me the opportunity, Chair, as you retire to make a considered decision in this matter, there are a few issues that I would like to very kindly and humbly call upon the committee to bear in mind as it retires to make a considered decision in this matter. First and foremost is on the issue of time. The same standing orders that provide for the time frame in which this committee has to determine a motion for impeachment also create an obligation on the Assembly to make material available to the subject of the impeachment motion, which happens to be the Deputy Governor, within a certain time. The position I have, and the position I urge you to bear in mind, is that obligation is placed on the Assembly. That obligation in respect of this matter was only discharged yesterday afternoon. In the letter of the Assembly to the Deputy Governor, dated the 29th of May this year, and with your permission, Madam Chair, I want to read again the last paragraph on the second page. You are at liberty to request the County Assembly to furnish you with relevant information or documents that you may require to prepare a presentation on this matter. Chair, the Constitution guarantees the Deputy Governor in the circumstances in which he finds himself at Article 50, the right to a fair trial. The documents that the County Assembly wishes to rely on in support of the motion are as of right, and these are the documents that the Deputy Governor only received yesterday evening, are as of right. He is entitled to them as of right. This letter from the clerk of the Assembly seems to characterize access to those documents as, with tremendous respect to the clerk, a courtesy. We have them. If you want them, you write and tell us to give them to you. That cannot be so. It is not a courtesy. It is the Deputy Governor's right. And the right to a fair trial is not attained until he has those documents. And your own standing orders give him at a minimum of 3 days. That right is only attained yesterday.
Okay, Chair, Wakili, I didn't want to go there. I was waiting that you give us time on this, but because you have now raised it and you're persistently raising it, now I want to go to it and then clear with it. On which standing order of Siaya County Assembly says that we must give this document 3 days to. Let's give us a section, please.
If perhaps I may have an out-of-date copy of your standing orders, if the clerk can perhaps give me a current copy of the standing orders.
You had made such a provision in your study. In your mention.
I realize that I may have an updated copy. And standing orders are the force of law. And I don't want to rely on updating law. If you give me a copy of the current standing orders, I will show you it.
That's what I was thinking. Because it's not expressly. I don't know it in our standing order. You need to give it to me.
Yes, if you give it to me, give me 2 minutes, I'll show you.
So that's why I was saying that you let us look at it. Simply saying that what you are referring to is not the law. It's not our standing order. And now is that you didn't ask for the standing order, you asked it now. We have issues, I think this matter is long. I'm only informing you that the standing order you are referring to is not Siaya County Assembly standing order. You don't know where it is generating from. We have our standing orders. And I want you to, I'm giving direction that we will deal with that matter. Give our submission. We have heard your concern. Allow us to deal with it and give you within the day. By the time we will be leaving here, we will have made a determination for your consideration. Can you now allow us to proceed and get into the substantive issues? Leave alone the preliminary objection and so on. You allow us to move on. Your concern have been noted.
But by proceeding,
yes,
you have made your determination.
No.
Yes. Because in my request, I have requested for time to respond. And by proceeding, you have made your determination.
Chair.
Yes.
Chair, just to inject from the guidance of our learned counsel, he has said that probably might be referring to the outdated standing order. And because these are also record, probably would request him to read the updated as we are waiting for the updated, so that at least it's on record that we might be having that copy that maybe we don't have.
With the permission, Mayor?
Yes.
The right to be heard. Standing order 64.
Yes.
It makes substantive under substanding order 1. And under substanding order 2, it provides that a person being removed from office shall be availed the report of the select committee supreme law.
Yes. You are reading standing order number 64.
As I acknowledged from the beginning, Chair, perhaps we're not reading the same copy. I also want the committee to bear in mind the provisions of Article 50 of our Supreme Law that guarantees every person the right to a fair hearing. And that right includes knowing the case against them, adequate time to prepare, and to be determined before a fair and impartial tribunal. What we are saying in this matter is that the documents were only presented yesterday. That is not adequate time to prepare, and it is against your standing order 64.
Okay, our standing order number 64, I want to read that when a question has been amended, it shall, when put, be put as amended. Doesn't necessarily refer to what you are saying.
Perhaps you can give me a copy so that I show you the one I'm saying. It's a public document, there's no need to hide it from.
No, there is no need of, you are going to get it. I just want us, because we don't want to drag into this. And I think a right to be heard in our standing order is on standing order number 74. And that 2 says, and I think this is what you are referring to, that the person being removed from office shall be availed with the report of the select committee together with any other evidence adduced and such note or papers presented the committee before the debate on the motion. Note that what we are referring to is a report of a select committee. This is the select committee. The report, we will ensure that before the motion on Thursday, the report will be given before the motion. That is all we have. And let me now proceed to make a determination on this matter and we move. We note that the Deputy Governor, in his written submission to the County Assembly, which was received yesterday, 5th June 2023, he raised concerns on 4 issues in relation to the proceedings which we are currently undertaking. The issues revolve around matters of 1, procedure and admissibility of the motion on removal from office of the Deputy Governor, public participation in the process, fair hearing, and alternative remedy. On the procedure and admissibility of the motion in the committee of the motion, the committee finds that 1, the mover of the motion was within the law as stipulated in Article 181 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 33(1) and 9A of the County Government Act 2012 and Standing Order 71 and 72 of the County Assembly of Siaya Standing Orders. The motion was sponsored by the member and supported by more than 1/3 of the members of the county who affirmed by their signatures that the particular motions were true to the best of their knowledge. The procedure for processing the motion is in line with the law and the standing orders of the County Assembly. The Deputy Governor has made citations of strange documents to house which is not the standing orders of the Siaya County Assembly. To this effect, the procedure as highlighted in the written submission is not correct as per standing orders of the county assemblies for Siaya. For instance, the deputy governor talks of being provided with a report of the special committee prior to his appearance here. It must be noted that the report of committee shall be presented on the 10th day after its constitution, which will be on 8th June 2023. In essence, the deputy governor is jumping the gun in his submission. That it is not the procedure as per standing orders of the County Assembly of Siaya. On the matter of public participation, the Deputy Governor is on the opinion that the Assembly has not sufficiently involved members of the public in processing this motion, since he claims the matter was only advertised in the daily newspaper. The committee notes the following. That the matter was advertised in Daily Nation newspapers on 30th May 2023, informing members of the public of the motion for removal of the Deputy Governor, William Oduol, that the advert called on members of the public to submit memorandum, comments and information in relation to the matter. The advert gave members of the public 7 days to present such information. Considering that the largely defined time frame for the committee to execute the matter is 10 days, it was the opinion of the committee that 7 days was sufficient notice. The County Assembly further placed the advert in its website and its official social media handles. It is not true that the advert was only on the daily newspaper. And I also, maybe when we look at the advert, some of the documents and the proceeding will not physically be picked from the governor, from the clerk's office. On the matter of fair hearing, the committee notes the following. The Deputy Governor was served with a letter notifying him of the motion to remove him from the office. Annexed to the letter was the motion containing detailed grounds as documented by the mover of the motion. In compliance with Article 47 and 50 of the Constitution of Kenya, the notification served as invitation to the Deputy Governor to appear before this special committee today to respond to the allegations in the motion. The invitation was clear that the Deputy Governor has a right to appear in person or through legal representation. The Deputy Governor further made requests for documents and information to the Assembly which were adequately responded to and documents issued to him. Accordingly, we are persuaded that although the impeachment process has not reached the tail end, the Deputy Governor has been so far given a fair hearing. On alternative remedy, the committee notes that removal from office of the Deputy Governor is a matter guided by Constitution and legal dictates, which provide for procedure and process. We note that the law does not provide any other alternative procedure that ought to be followed in resolution of the issues before the committee. To this end, the committee finds that the issue of alternative remedy of the matter is not merited or guided by any provisions in the law. A more detailed ruling on this will be found in the committee report. Thank you.
Thank you for that guidance, Chairman. Perhaps if the Chair will be so kind to share with us a copy of that decision, and if the Chair will grant us just 3 minutes to put our heads together so that we are then able to proceed with today's proceedings.
1 minute, because time is moving very fast.
then allow us to step out and consult for 1 minute and come back.
Rồi.
Okay. Your consultant opinion?
We have consulted, and I confirm, first I thank you for the indulgence to give us time to consult, and I confirm that we are ready to continue with the rest of this morning's important proceedings.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, we want to proceed to substantive issue, and our clerk will take us through the motion. You realize that when the motion was adopted, it became the document of the Assembly, and such document was tabled to our committee, and therefore our clerk is going to take us through the substantive issues of that document. Then from there we will be, I know we have some of our witnesses here, whom we will have to excuse us at a point when we start now our issues interrogation, because we don't want we want to ensure that the matter is dealt with properly. So, clerk, proceed.
Perhaps, Chair, maybe you can just give us guidance from here to the end of the proceedings. The clerk reads the impeachment motion, and then what are the other sequences?
Okay. Now allow me to stand and give this. Our procedure will be, we don't have all those different procedures on this, and we are going to try to do the best. What we are going to do now, we are going to be taken through the issues that were raised. While these issues are being raised here, I know in here we have what some of our witnesses were seated. Immediately after getting the content of what is here, we will identify those witnesses that are supposed to appear here to excuse us from the building. Then immediately we are done, after they have left, we will get the DG's position on the issues raised. After that, we will be asking questions. Maybe we need to be from the members. Then, after that, we will proceed to invite witnesses on particular issue. Like when we get issue number 1, we are interested on evidence of so and so and so and so. The first person will come, make a presentation. We allow you to cross-examine them, and we take note. Then the next person, that will, because after whatever is going to be read to us, we are only going to listen to you, what you presented on those allegations. Then now we will proceed to invite those witnesses for them also to tell us what is in there, and then you guys as a team also cross-examine them on some of the issues that you need to cross-examine. Then we call it a day, we sit back as a committee and listen. I want to confirm this. We want to be very impartial, give you a very honorable environment, and I know the members, we are live on almost all social medias, we are live on some of the TV channels, and this is the best opportunity for us that a decision we are going to come with, it should be for the good of all of us. At the end of the day, we will leave this place happy for the sake of Siaya, and I know the engagement for maybe next week also will be very healthy, and to see Siaya move in a good direction. Clark, thank you.
Chairman, perhaps again, just a small query from the guidance that you have given. The witnesses are, for all intents and purposes, the deputy governor's accusers. Is it correct for the deputy governor to speak before his accusers have spoken, before the accusations have been laid before him in their entirety?
Okay. I think what we are doing, these are the accusers. The accuser here, these are motions. These are not generators of the motion. They are just faces. and by presenting the accusation now is a document of the assembly. The assembly is presenting that document with accusations. So, and that is why after they have presented the accusations and the issues that are here, then you will respond to those issues. And when we are executing it here, all of the members and the witnesses will be here to listen. When DG will be responding, none of the witnesses will be here. He will respond, and then the issue will ask questions. In some of our witnesses that are justifying some of these offenses will be invited. Then you are allowed to cross-examine as witnesses.
There's two issues here, Chair. What the DG is responding to is not the very eloquent presentation that will be made by the clerk in the assembly, but it is the allegations or the substance that will be made by these gentlemen seated behind me. If the matter proceeds in that way, then what will happen is that the DG will be responding to accusations that have not been made. There is no difference at this juncture between what the clerk is going to say and what these gentlemen behind me are going to say. That is the totality of the accusation against the DG. What he is entitled to is to respond to both. If we go in that direction, cross-examination is by counsel, not by the DG. If the DG testifies, and then his accusers testify, and the only right is given is cross-examination, that is not a response. Cross-examination will merely test the evidence. If he puts his response on record before his accusers, then there is something.
Okay. You know, okay. DG has made a response. He has done his written submission. With or without those people speaking, he has their statements. And he has responded to us. The charge sheet is drawn from this side. We have the charge sheet. What clerk is doing is reading you the charge sheet. After reading the charge sheet, you decide, do you want us after reading the charge sheet, we ask you, do you plead guilty or not?
Chairman, I'm glad you have used the example of a charge sheet because it is a scenario that both myself and yourself are familiar with. If we proceed in the manner in which you propose, what is happening is that the charge is read.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, kindly request you to address the committee. And Mr. Chairman, we need to move on. And I believe the issue being raised by the council, I think it would be proper for our witnesses to take the stand first, then we allow the DG to interrogate them. So I highly request that you make a ruling so that you move on.
Okay, let's doing that.
Chairman, to that I say I resound in amen.
Thank you. Clerk, you take us through
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I now read the motion that sets the ground for our being here. Motion for removal from the office of the Siaya County Deputy Governor, William Oduol, by impeachment pursuant to Article 151, Sub-Article 1AC, and Article 75 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 33 of the County Government Act 2012, and Standing Order 72 of the County Assembly of Siaya Standing Orders. Mr. Speaker, sir, in consideration of the provisions of Article 73, Sub-Article 1A
3 and 4 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, herein after referred to as the Constitution, insofar as it connotes to the manner in which a state officer is expected to exercise assigned authority. Whereas Article 75, sub-article 1 of the Constitution obligates a state officer to behave in all senses in a manner that is devoid of compromising public or official interest in favor of personal interest. Aware that a state officer, having taken and subscribed to oath of office pursuant to provisions of Article 74 of the Constitution, is duty-bound to adhere to the values and principles of public service as exposed in Article 232 of the Constitution, most importantly, the practice of equitable provision of services. Hitherto, the County Assembly of Siaya, having been signaled by public utterances and allegations by the Deputy Governor to the effect that there were misgivings, elements of moribund leadership, misappropriation of public funds, and biasness in budget allocations, amongst other positions. The Assembly being fully appraised of the importance of provisions of Article 73, sub-article 2D of the Constitution, which requires all state officers to be accountable to the public for their decisions, actions, and by implication public utterances. The Assembly, in exercising its constitutional mandate of being bestowed with the power to summon any person to appear before it for purposes of giving evidence or providing information in line with Article 175 of the Constitution, resolved to invite the Deputy Governor to shed light into the import of his public proclamations about the administration in which he serves. Further aware of the significance of the provisions of Section 29 of Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, which prohibits an officer from knowingly giving false information to any person, Section 30 of Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, which prohibits a state officer from falsifying records or misrepresenting information, and Section 27, subsection 3G of the County Assembly Powers and Privileges Act 2017, which classifies willful furnishing of a county assembly or a committee with information which is false or misleading, or making a statement before a county assembly or committee that is false or misleading as an offense. Noting that the Deputy Governor, William Oduol, submitted information to the County Assembly together with associated alleged evidence, presumably to the best of his knowledge and ability, concerned that the analysis of the information provided by the Deputy Governor, his actions prior and subsequent to providing the information, and observed misdemeanor in the manner in which he runs the affairs of the office of the Siaya County Deputy Governor that goes against the grains of several provisions of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, County Government Act 2012, Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act 2016, County Assembly Powers and Privileges Act 2017, and Public Officers Ethics Act 2009. Mr. Speaker, sir, this Assembly resolves to impeach the Siaya County Deputy Governor Oduol under Section 33 of the County Government Act 2012 and Standing Order 71 and 72 on the following grounds. 1. Gross violation of the Constitution and other laws. Under that ground, there is interference with procurement process through acts of bid rigging. These are the grounds. A. The Deputy Governor, William Oduol, interfered with the procurement of contractors for various road projects in the county, and that of supply and delivery of certified seed and fertilizer, contrary to provisions of Section 47, subsection 1 of Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, which states that, and I quote, a procurement function shall be handled by procurement professionals whose qualifications are recognized in Kenya, close quote. B, the Deputy Governor coerced the head of the County Procurement Unit to give him raw evaluation report for the tender on supply and delivery of certified seeds and fertilizer, together with assigned professional opinion, despite being advised on the dangers of exposing such documents for a procurement process which had not yet resulted in a final selection and award of tender. C, the Deputy Governor, William Oduol, had justifiably relying on the authority of the Office of the Deputy Governor, caused to be changed by coercion certain specifications in 86 tender documents for road constructions. Indeed, by engaging in actions explained herein, Mr. William Oduol, being not a procurement professional with qualifications recognized by him, acted at variance to the provisions of procurement laws. Second ground, abuse of office and gross misconduct. 1, bulldozing officers to innovate the office of the Deputy Governor outside approved budgetary provisions. The Deputy Governor, banking on the authority of his office, forced incurring of expenses of approximately shillings 18 million for purposes of renovating his office, in bracket interior and exterior works, purchase of furniture and office equipment, and expenditure that was not in the budget and therefore not in the procurement plan. This was in contravention of Section 53, subsection 2 of Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, which states that, and I quote, an accounting officer shall prepare an annual procurement plan which is realistic in a format set out in the regulations within the budget, within the approved budget, prior to commencement of each financial year as part of the annual budget preparation process. Further, Section 53, subsection 3 of the same Act states that, and I quote, any public officer who knowingly recommends to the accounting officer excessive procurement of items beyond a reasonable consumption of the procurement entity commits an offense under this Act. The actions of the Deputy Governor of forcing and budgeted for expenditure contravene the canons of procurement requirements. The other ground is misuse of public resources. It is on record that in November 2022, the Deputy Governor, William Oduol, while attending his PAC meeting in Sarova White Sands Hotels in Mombasa, in his personal capacity and not in his official capacity as the Deputy Governor, caused the County Department of Governance and Administration to facilitate him and 3 other officers whose relevant to his PAC meeting would not be confirmed as they were not members of the ISPAC, apart from the driver whose roles were undoubtedly essential. This was contrary to the provisions of Section 46 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act 2003, revised 2016, which states that, and I quote, a person who uses his office to improperly confer a benefit on himself or anyone else is guilty of an offense, close quote. The Deputy Governor used his office to confer benefits to officers to attend a function that was irrelevant to them. Underground bullying. In his effort to coerce the County Director of Supply Chain Management, Mr. Martin Okwata, to bend to his whims and change specification in certain tenders, the Deputy Governor, William Oduol, threatened the Director and promised him a harsh working environment in the coming future, apparently in reference to the Director's adamancy to give him the tender documents. It is also on record that the Deputy Governor demanded constant briefings from the Director of Supply Chain Management directly on matters of procurement, despite the Director not being answerable to him as per the structure of the county government service. The Deputy Governor demanded constant and repeated briefings not only on matters of procurement but also on matters of finance. It was on record that he constantly and persistently demanded information on county financial transactions directly from the Acting Officer of Finance and Economic Planning, Mr. Jacob Dinga, despite the fact that Mr. Dinga was not directly answerable to him in his responsibilities and duties. This repeated behavior irritated Mr. Dinga. It was peculiarly noted that the Deputy Governor, Mr. William Oduol, only demanded direct and constant briefings from Finance and Procurement departments, and not from any other county department,
which are equally important in the service provision to the residents of Siaya. D, the actions of the Deputy Governor of threatening and persistently demanding information from the officers who are not directly answerable to him was akin to the provisions of Section 34 of Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, which states, and I quote, 1. A state officer shall not bully any person. 2. For purposes of subsection 1, bullying includes repeated offensive behavior, which is vindictive, cruel, malicious, or humiliating, and intended to undermine a person. Fourth count, misleading the public by giving false information. Moral and ethical requirements of any state officer dictates that he or she must always accurately and honestly represent information to the public. Section 29 of Leadership and Integrity Act 2012 states that, and I quote, a state officer shall not knowingly give false information or misleading information to any person, close quotes. Section 27, subsection 2D of County Assembly Powers and Privileges Act 2017 classifies as an offense actions such as those which result in giving false information or evidence before an assembly committee. Section 27, subsection 2F of the same act further states that, and I quote, a person commits an offense when the person willfully furnishes a county assembly or a committee with information that is false or misleading, or makes a statement before a county assembly or committee that is false and misleading. Close quotes. It is on record that the Deputy Governor, William Oduol, misled the county assembly and has continuously been misleading members of the public in the following instances. A. The Deputy Governor misled members of the public that funds allocated towards the completion of Siaya Stadium had been reallocated in the Supplementary Budget 1 for the financial year 2022-2023. However, it was confirmed that the allocation had been enhanced and not removed, as the Deputy Governor claimed. B. The Deputy Governor misled members of the public and the House that there was discriminatory budgetary allocation to disadvantaged residents of Alego Usonga constituency. It was later confirmed that Alego Usonga was the highest beneficiary of development funding in the Supplementary Budget 1 of the financial year 2022-2023. C. The Deputy Governor misled the County Assembly and members of the public that the County Secretary, Mr. Joseph Ogutu, was forced to resign by the Governor, information that was denied by the County Secretary. D. The Deputy Governor misled the County Assembly and members of the public that county bursary allocation in Siaya is riddled with corruption and that school head teachers, who are critical stakeholders in the determination of needy cases, are left out during the vetting process. This assertion was invalidated by statements of the CEC member for education. And E, the Deputy Governor, William Oduol, misled the County Assembly and members of the public that Mr. Austin Otieno was a political affairs officer in the county public service, and that he had been interdicted without being given an opportunity to show cause why disciplinary action would not be taken against him. Investigations revealed that Mr. Otieno was not appointed to the county government as a political affairs officer, but a social welfare officer, and further that Mr. Otieno was procedurally asked to show cause why disciplinary action would not be taken against him. The allegations were signed in the motion by Honorable Gordon Onguru, MCA East Assembly Ward, on 22nd May 2023. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Clerk. On the same then, I just wanted to build our mind into what we are here for. This committee, the Select Committee, is doing its investigation into this matter, and we present our report on the matters alleged, whether confirmed or not confirmed within the merits of the committee. So we are doing investigations. Again, I just looking at, I saw the response from our Deputy Governor on rationale for the impeachment, and I want to make it or read verbatim that impeachment proceeding speaks to matters of good governance and a constitution and the standards of leadership and integrity set, particularly under Chapter 6 of the Constitution. The question to be shared is whether weighing one being with another and the totality of all the circumstances, the person sought to be impeached possessed the leadership and integrity test under the Constitution. Then we, on a ruling, there's a ruling here, the Senate ruling on the 11th Parliament on the case of Siaya, as rightly cited. The purpose of impeachment is to ensure that the people of a county are governed in a matter consistent with the Constitution and the law of Kenya. That impeachment is all about accountability, political governance, as well as political responsibility. So then the Court of Appeal, as it appreciates the quasi-judicial process, it says that the impeachment, as attributed in Article 181 of the Constitution, reveals that the removal of the governor is not about criminality or culpability, but it is about accountability, political governance, as well as policy and political responsibility. You look at what accountability is. Accountability is the acceptance of responsibility for one's own action. Responsibility for your actions, and the political governance is all about concerned with creating the conditions, order, rule, and collective action. As we move forward, this is our guiding references. Under investigations and specifically to this. Issue number one that was raised is on our issue one. Issue number one is interference with procurement process through acts of bid rigging. And on this matter, you realize that the discussion here is surrounding procurement. And therefore, in the issue number one, we will invite our witness. I'm reliably informed that the Director of Procurement is here. Do you have the right? Yes?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Maybe before you go to the witness, allow me to make a brief statement.
Who are you? First of all, introduce yourself. And then
yes. Thank you very much. My name is Philip Richard Awade. I serve as the county attorney of the county government of Siaya. I received a letter dated 24th of May 2023 from the county assembly inviting me and my legal team to attend these deliberations in my capacity as county attorney, and to, I quote, provide legal advice to the committee, end of quote. As you are aware, the office of the county attorney is established under the Office of the County Attorney Act number 14 of 2020. Section 7A of that act provides that the county attorney shall be the principal legal advisor to the county government. By dint of Article 176 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the county government is defined to include both the county assembly and the county executive. This essentially means that the county attorney has the mandate to advise both levels of government. Section 81 of the Act empowers the county attorney to appear at any stage of the proceedings before any court or tribunal. Further, Section 9(1) of the Act gives the county attorney the right of audience
in proceedings in any suit or inquiry of any administrative body which may be of public interest or may involve a department or agency in the country executive. As principal legal advisor to the two arms of government, my role in these proceedings, if at all, can only be strictly advisory and essentially to act in what I would describe as amicus curiae, a friend of this committee. In this regard, my role will be restricted to making submissions on matters of due process and procedures attempts to deal with substantive legal arguments would likely jeopardize or otherwise compromise my impartiality and neutrality. Due process is a fundamental human right principle guaranteed by the Constitution. Furthermore, any person who stands accused has a right to be heard. And I think that has come out clearly in the preliminary discussions. In this regard, the County Government Act, read together with various other legislations, the Constitution, the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act, the County Assembly's Standing Orders, outline essentially the procedure to be followed when deliberating the matter of the impeachment of a deputy governor. I will implore this committee to abide by these procedures and to ensure that everything is done in accordance with the laid down laws and procedures. I wish to point out, Mr. Chairman, for example, that Section 33, 9A of the County Government Act provides mutatis, that is the necessary modifications, that a deputy governor shall be removed from office in the same manner as the governor. Article 181 of the Constitution provides that a county governor or deputy governor may be removed from office on any of the following grounds: gross violation of the Constitution, where there are serious reasons for believing that the county governor has committed a crime under national law, abuse of office or gross misconduct, physical or mental incapacity to perform the functions of office of county governor. In every instance where it states county governor should be replaced with county district governor. Based on Article 181 of the Constitution, the procedure for the removal of a county or deputy, for a governor or deputy governor is well outlined in Section 33 of the County Government Act. These sections have been ably and succinctly reproduced by the Assembly in the invitation letter to these proceedings, and I do not intend to reproduce them. I must emphasize, however, that as amicus curiae, I am not expected to exhibit any partiality towards any side. My role is strictly to advise on matters of law and procedure. In the case of Attorney General versus me and 73 others, the Supreme Court held as follows: amicus curiae is governed by the principle of neutrality and fidelity to the law. 2, amicus brief should be limited to legal arguments. And 3, the role of amici is to aid the court, in this regard the County Assembly, to arrive at a determination based on the law. These principles should guide our participation, albeit reluctantly, in these proceedings. Why do I say that? Mr. Chairman, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, it goes without saying that we are in a very delicate and precarious situation. Honorable Oduol is the Deputy Governor of Siaya, where the officers who have been invited to give evidence in these proceedings work. Honorable Oduol, the subject of these proceedings, is therefore our boss, from whom we have been taking instructions. Since the inauguration of the new administration on 25th August 2022, we, and I in particular, have worked very closely with the governor and the deputy governor, particularly as a member of the executive committee. The precariousness of the situation is aptly depicted by an American adage, which would have it that Oduol is only a heartbeat away from becoming the governor of Siaya. In the circumstances, my responsibility is to remind the County Assembly to exercise their responsibility as elected representatives of the people of Siaya based on legality and rules of procedure guiding the Assembly. And I'm delighted But the chairman has assured us that the committee will do precisely that. In the circumstances and in conclusion, I wish you fruitful deliberations, but I will recuse myself from active participation in these proceedings so that I do not choose one side or the other, considering my role as defined in the Country Attorney's Act. Thank you, Chairman, for giving me the opportunity to make those remarks.
Thank you. When you say that you want to sit back and watch, is it because you fear that the DG is not working?
Chairman, good afternoon again, and thank you for the opportunity just to seek a clarification. During the course of this morning's proceedings, I have occasionally felt that I am participating in more than one proceeding. There is a proceeding that is present within this chamber, and there is another proceeding. And I want to point out two instances from the other proceeding before I make my point. The first instance is the ruling that the chair had read. The second instance is the appearance of my eminent and learned senior colleague as amicus. If indeed the county attorney is participating in these proceedings as amicus, my client, the deputy governor, is the subject of these proceedings. That letter dated the 24th of May, written by the Assembly to my learned senior colleague in his capacity as the county attorney, should have been copied to my client. And if indeed he has been admitted as amicus, my client's voice should have been heard in that decision. I wish to put that on record. If he is amicus, it would be very nice to receive the speech or the brief that he has just presented. Because again, it goes towards the determination. And it is my client who is the subject of these proceedings. These proceedings are not taking place, Chairman, in Nevada. They are by the Assembly about the deputy governor.
Thank you, what I want to confirm to you that we have one proceeding, and it is what we have one proceeding. When you did your written submission, we were on with our, because all that you are saying here are already been submitted to us. So when there was reading, we have a secretariat, we assigned the write-up to us. Credit, when you got us, we didn't just come and we gave us documents working. We were working on those documents, and actually, as I earlier said, that we would make a determination on those particular issues that you are raising. By the time we were finishing that particular discussion, already the write-up was ready. So it is not another meeting, it is a committee meeting. And I think you are aware that when you guys were taking tea somewhere here around the area, because I know we are a hospitable assembly, we were seated here as a committee and discussing. So it is not something that is new. Our committee has been continuously receiving your communications and responding. I want to again say that unless you have a feeling, we are doing investigations, all the issues are put here, we discuss it here, and we do our recordings. We are not on a tribunal. We are doing investigations with an aim of knowing the truth. So if you have a feeling that his presence will jeopardize our investigations, and I also have a feeling that him as the legal counsel of the county, and the matter under the deliberation affects the county, I don't think him being here will jeopardize whatever we are doing. And he has rightly put it, that he will not be active. We want to sit back and watch what is going on. As long as we are not doing anything that will again put the county in problems. He represents both assembly and the executive. And he will not be part and parcel of the proceeding. He is there to watch and listen. Are you okay with that?
just to put one point on record, the issue of time arose during my submission. And my submissions may not end 30 seconds before you read your ruling, but let's go on, Chair.
Okay, now we are not going to give more times. We want now to proceed directly. You realize that when we are making, we have presented for you the case and the motion. Your client has been served with all whatever documents we wanted to rely on. He has written back to it, and he has communicated to us, not our witnesses. Not our witnesses. As such, therefore, I am feeling that having read for you the charges, I wanted that immediately, having read the charges, the Deputy Governor to make his statement on those raised issues.
Chairman, there was a point of order. This is why I say